In this video, we're going to take our work a little bit further with square roots. Let's consider two cases. First, the square root of negative 169. Now, as we said in the first video, negative numbers do not have square roots. There is no number multiplied by itself that will equal negative 169. So we would say in this case, no solution. Now this is different than if we were asking the question, what is the negative square root of 169? 169 is the same thing as 13 times 13, or 13 squared. So the negative square root of 169 is negative 13. Notice that the big difference lies in the location of the square root. In the first instance, the square root is inside the square root bar. In the second instance, the negative is on the outside. Negative numbers do not have square roots. Why don't you try a couple yourself? Here's the first one. The first one is, what is the negative square root of 49? The second one, what is the square root of negative 121? And finally, to see if you were paying attention a couple videos ago, what's the square root of 0? Hit pause, see if you can do these yourself. Well, what did you get? We know that 49 is the same thing as 7 squared, so the negative square root of 49 must be negative 7. For the second problem, we have the square root of negative 21, but as we've said, negative numbers do not have square roots, so in that case there's no solution. Finally, the square root of 0. 0 is the only number that has a single positive square root, and it is itself 0. Another kind of problem for us to consider is the difference between these two things. So in the first case, we have the square root of 25 plus the square root of 144. Now, these square roots we can't add directly, but what we can do is simplify them, because we know that 25 is 5 squared, and we know that 144 is 12 squared. So this problem becomes positive 5 plus positive 12, which is 17. We can contrast that, though, with this. The square root of 25 plus 144. Since both of these things are inside the square root bar, it's implied that there's some parentheses here. So 25 plus 144, well, that's 169. And as we saw earlier, 169 is 13 squared. So the square root of 25 plus 144 must be 13. Why don't you try a couple yourself? Go ahead and work with the square root of 9 plus the square root of 16. And when you're done with that, look at something similar but different, the square root of 9 plus 16. Go ahead and hit pause. Well, what'd you get? Since 9 is 3 squared and 16 is 4 squared, this must become 3 plus 4, or 7. Whereas the other problem, since they're both inside the square root, well, 9 plus 16 is 25, but 25 is 5 squared, so this simplifies down to 5. In the final video, we'll add some variables.